Today, Canada Alliance launches a new advocacy campaign. A campaign to encourage policymakers to adopt a UK best practice model to support smart cities. To give us background on the campaign, we're joined by senior industry statesman Bill Hutchinson, iCanada Chair, member of the National Leadership Council for CATA. So Bill, in your office in Toronto, can you give us some details on the new campaign being launched today? Over to you, Bill.
You know, this whole issue of smart cities and intelligent communities is tremendously important for Canada. It's all about transforming our cities, towns, and our rural areas and our remote areas to be able to really live in the 21st century and to become winners in terms of our building new companies, having them compete in the world, and making life great for people based on the use of technology. Old people can stay in their homes longer. We can deliver health care in different ways. So the question is, how do we get there, and how do we get there faster than our competitors? We have a good base of innovation and capability in Canada. But you know, one model that I'm very impressed with is what the UK government has done. They recognize the importance of this. They know that the smart city business is now a $1 trillion a year business in the world, including products and services for improving the environment and startups and social things. But how do you stimulate that? What they did is they said, look, let's get the cities on board and we'll give them some money to help encourage them. And they, in turn, will, of course, turn around and pass that on to their companies to do things. But the cities will be saying, here's what we need. So they created this program with £350 million, let's say $500 million, and they're inviting cities and towns to all bid for certain amounts of money. What they want is not pilot programs involving 10 people, but demonstrators, and they call those ones where 1,000 or 10,000 people are involved. So very quickly, Glasgow, for example, won one of the top prizes for £28 million to create a new healthcare delivery system. So what happens is Glasgow defines with their doctors and hospitals how this can really work to the benefit of our citizens. They turn around and pass the money to their British companies to provide this. And the real goal then is to get the British companies really leading in this area to go out, and they've set a goal of capturing 10% of this $1 trillion market in the future in other countries. Now the good news is we created iCanada in Canada to support and encourage Canadian communities and towns to become part of this, and we've done a collaboration agreement with the Smart City Forum in Britain. The alternative is what we're doing in Canada. We created a fund just to help fund companies into new things. It's not driving a particular market, and yet this is the biggest one that will affect all society. So I think we should take a look in Canada and say, let's create this kind of cities, cities fund for tomorrow, so that we can all compete in the 21st century, and that our companies will go out and grab our share of the market, let's say 5 to 7% of this massive market. And it supports the startup companies, and it really builds the industry. And it ties in with John Reed's Innovation Canada idea, where we really want to be able to compete and have a great life in the 21st century.